Hey, for this week's 32nd Thursday, I wanted to talk about this folk art figure. It's possible I'm going to keep this for my personal collection. I recently got this in a small lot of like 5 wood figures. Certainly not all by the same carver, definitely sort of a random lot, but I've already sold one piece. If I sell the other 3, I will have probably doubled my money, maybe 2.5 times on my money, which is, it wasn't a real expensive lot, but so that's a reasonable profit margin for sure. You know, I could probably keep this. I don't keep as much stuff as I would like. Certainly, I can't afford to. Most of it's for sale. All of it's for sale. I definitely have a personal collection, a fairly large personal collection in a way, but it's not something I've been adding to a lot in the last couple of years as times have been lean. But this thing, it might make it, and so I wanted to talk to you about why I like this. I've had a lot of new carvings over the years and sold them all, and a couple I probably regret selling and would like to have kept. So this one might be a keeper, but you know, a little insight into why I collect it. I think she's weird enough to be interesting, charming enough to be interesting, certainly naive and outsider art enough to be interesting. I like the colors. It has a good surface. You can see by the base that it does have some age. Not hyper realistic looking for sure, which is kind of cool, but not way off the base either. Kind of fun, kind of cute. Wouldn't be worth a ton of money no matter what. You know, it wouldn't be worth like thousands of dollars. So if it was something like that, I'd probably have to sell it just for the money. But it's kind of easier to keep cheaper stuff in a way. But that's the cool thing about collecting. It's cheaper stuff can fit in your collection, can make a statement on a shelf just as much as expensive stuff sometimes. And there are definitely bargains out there if you look for it, and if you have an imagination or a weird enough taste, you know, there's always something fun to buy. Pretty charming looking, charming face, very naive, and that's what I like about it. So when you're buying these type of carvings or any kind of carvings, there are obviously age, quality of the work, you know, matters. Age matters, condition matters, like everything. So I think, you know, a thing to remember with folk art in general is, you know, it's a visual medium. So you want to see something that strikes you, and buy stuff that you think has a visual appeal, is visually striking. I think this fits into that mold. I might be wrong. But for me, it definitely does. With all art, I appreciate more imagination than anything, I guess. More into impressionism than realism paintings. Age matters. With these, though, something like this folky, this charming, if you can get it to be the first half of the 20th century, then you're doing pretty good. Certainly the older it is, the more collectible, the more valuable it'll be. But this is probably from like the 30s or 40s, so it has just enough age to be pretty interesting. Another thing I like to do with my collections is like to mix stuff. I'm not strictly a purist at all in terms of collecting or dealing. I don't want just, you know, 18th century stuff or even 19th century stuff. I love 20th century stuff just as well. I like having a round Coke sign. You know, Coke sign, a classic Americana kind of thing, next to something period and painted. Furniture, you know, hanging on the wall. I think you can mix different genres, mix different eras really in an interesting way. And that might be because I am I'm into somewhat eclectic and outsidery stuff as well as traditional stuff. I do like salt glazed pottery, for instance, and I like to encourage that, you know, and certainly encourage that through my customers, partly because that's what I deal in, but I like to have, you know, period stuff next to eclectic 20th century stuff, next to outsider art, next to folk art, next to maybe even something a little more traditional. It's always fun to, I think, mix things. I certainly understand why some people are pretty narrowly focused in their collecting or decorating habits, but I like to paint with a wide brush, so to speak, and I think this really fits into it. And so I hope you enjoyed this video, sort of an insight into the things I collect. And remember, buy what you like, whether it's from me or somebody else, but just buy what you like, mix it together, and you gotta live with it and you gotta love it. So thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you.